Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening, depending where you are, or when you're listening to this. Anyway, just wanted to pop on here while I'm driving to work, and wanted to talk about something that something I see that keeps growing and getting bigger and worse. But let me start way back when I was in college. As one of my science classes, I took was it science or I don't know, but anyway, I took a social psychology class. I figured it would be a little more interesting than just the regular psych classes, and it actually was. It was fascinating talking about the groups and the different dynamics and stuff like that, and how we interact with groups and how groups interact with each other, and our social identities and all this other stuff. And I actually learned a lot. It ended up being one of my favorite classes. But one of the things the professor said that has always stuck with me is that one of the easiest ways to get people in a group to hurt each other or even kill each other or do horrible things to each other is to put them in competition for something. Meaning you put them in a situation where it's us versus them, whether it's for actual resources or perceived resources or something else. And that's the quickest and easiest way, is once you put somebody, well, you're in our group and that group over there, they're bad. You can get them to do just absolutely horrible things once they're in the group, and you get them to believe that, well, this other group is full of bad people. So then you fast forward all these years, right? And that's a lot. I think that's been exacerbated by social media, because it seems like that's because people can't discuss anything. They can't, even things that are benign. Like if you say, "Oh, I like this brand of toothpaste," there'll be somebody that will argue with you, and somehow you're a bad person because you like this thing that they don't like. And so it seems that that's sort of gotten off the rails. And it reminds me too of, back in the day. I sound really old talking about that when I'm like, back in my day, that's the way it was and we liked it. But when I used to listen to like talk radio, news talk, any of that stuff, it was always, it had a lot of substance, right? It was, here's these ideas, here's the bills that are going through Congress, here's the local laws that are being passed, and it was all about, well, here's an idea, and here's why it works or doesn't work. And it was real substance. And now they've really gotten away from that. So if you listen to any, there really isn't news talk radio anymore. It seems like everybody falls on a different side of the spectrum. But basically, it's all us versus them. And they're always just picking easy targets. For me, I'm pretty much down the middle, so I'll listen to both sides, because I figure somewhere between the two I'm going to get what's actually happening in the world. But I've noticed that both sides will do the same thing, where they complain about the media, but they'll go on and on about how horrible, whatever side of the media they disagree with, and then they'll say, oh, but their ratings are bad and nobody's watching. And to me, that's a big eye-opener, because you go, well, wait a minute. So if nobody's watching and you just spend an hour complaining about this, all you're doing is putting us into us versus them, and having us believe that, oh, well, these bad people are getting their marching orders from these bad people over here. And so what I would say is, with all this stuff, take a step back, because if somebody were to come to you and say, well, you're in group X, so therefore you believe this and you do this and you're a bad person because of this, you would sit there and argue with them and say, oh, no, I don't believe all that. I don't believe this, and oh, no, I don't agree with that, and oh, no, I'm different, I'm an individual. But yet you will sit there, and in all these different circumstances, you will look at somebody in another group and assume everything about them. and that's not true either, right? If it's not true for you, how could it be true for them? That, that they're just marching in lockstep and agree with everything. So I think we need to step back and realize how much the us versus them is being used against us, whether it's people we work with, friendships, especially social media. It's gotten ridiculous on a lot of that stuff. But and realize that people are not groups, they're individuals. And hating on somebody you don't even know, or taking offense for something that was never meant as an offense or even meant for you, all that needs to stop. And really the reason that people do it is because it's easy. It's so lazy just to, we good, them bad, okay? And then people line up and will, do whatever they need to do, and it seems to have even gotten farther to where, because remember when they were debating, is it okay to punch a Nazi? And they were debating, some people were saying, oh, well, yeah, of course. And other people were saying, well, no, you shouldn't punch people just because you disagree with them. And then that's escalated to, it's okay to hurt a bad person or to destroy their lives or to get them fired from their job or blah, blah, blah. And so I think that, we need to step back and realize, what are we participating in and why are we participating in it? Why are we getting involved in some of this stuff that we're involved in? And I know it's easy and it's fun and it it feels good sometimes because get that bad person, but you don't really know that person, do you? Have you met them? Have you talked to them? Do you know their wife? Do you know their kids? Do you know, or vice versa, their husband? And do you really know that they're a bad person, or do you just know that somebody on your side told you they were, and so then it's okay for you to do whatever, horrible things you're going to do, whether in person or on social media, or, or somebody wears the wrong shirt, and so, they need to be beat up, or whatever. It's just so stupid. And you need to take a step back and go, okay, why am I even in this? Why am I taking part in this? Are you really doing something good? Are you really solving a problem or fixing the world? Most likely, no, you're not. You're not doing anything other than just perpetuating the us versus them and doing horrible things you would normally do. But really, if you want to change the world, you do it on a personal level by discussing things and by people talking. There's been so many examples of people who have assumed that somebody's part of this group that I disagree with, and then they get to know them and they become friends, and this is such a great person. I didn't realize that we could become friends and agree on all these things, and people moderate their views and whatever. That's the way life's supposed to work. It's supposed to be changed at the personal and grassroots level. It's not supposed to be, by lobbing bombs at each other's groups. That's never how things change. Basically my point is just take a step back and look how that us versus them dynamic is being used, how it's being used against you, really, because most of you are not going to think that way, and most of you are not going to go about your daily lives that way, but you are, because it's easy. It's easy to stoke anger. It's easy to get you all fired up and churned up, and then you'll do whatever. So, but that's not what we should be doing. And I think if all of us were to try to recognize the little cues and the things that are going on around us and say, you know what, I'm not a pawn. I'm not a useful idiot in whatever games people are playing. And usually the thing that always kills me about this, that just makes me laugh, is when they, whenever somebody's doing the us versus them, and they say, and they always say how whatever side, you're supposed to be on with them is losing, because then that gets you even more fired up and more willing to do whatever, because, you're losing, so therefore you need to try harder. And then it's always followed by, we're losing because you're not angry enough, you're not doing enough. Oh, and buy my book or see this project I'm doing or whatever. And that just kills me because that's literally what they're doing is, we're gonna lose if you don't pay me. Which you're like, wait a minute, I thought I was, fighting for truth and justice and blah blah blah, but instead you're using it so that I'll buy your garbage. But anyway, just wanted to rant about that just because it really bothers me, because I just see it just going and going and going to where you have people on different social medias talking about, well, we're gonna have another civil war. Really? I'm not gonna be there, so I don't know what they're talking about. I really think that if there were to start a new civil war or whatever it is that everybody's ranting about, I think they're going to be surprised how few people actually show up for this stupidity, and they're going to both be standing around, with their phones going, where is everybody? Why? I thought there'd be more people here. So, pull yourself out of that. Stop being angry about everything and all the time, and just look how you're being manipulated and used, and people are just using your anger to make you a useful idiot. And if you go through history, bad things happen to the useful idiots. They're usually the first people that are killed when the people who are using them get what they want. So, anyway, sorry, just ranting on my way to work, getting that all out of my system. But I just have, in my heart, I have so much love and respect for people that I just hate to see this, and I hate to see the dehumanization of each other into groups, and just these stupid group dynamics, and everyone in this group does this, or everyone in this group should do that. We're individuals. We're each a precious creation of God, and we're not the same. We're not all going to think the same. We're not going to experience life the same. Everybody, all of our brains are perceiving everything differently. We literally are experiencing a different life. Each person, even if we're in the same room, same job, same school, whatever together, we're experiencing it differently. So, telling each other how we're awful people and we need to destroy so-and-so's life isn't helping anything. Love and respect and coming to know each other and changing things on a human level, that's the way to do it. But anyway, just wanted to go ahead and rant about that. But I was going to say too also that I did post a new podcast, so that's up. I believe if you go to begoodmen.net, you'll be able to see it. Just going over the 16 attributes of what makes a good man. So hopefully that gives you some information, and I'll be recording another one going through each of the different attributes. So hopefully that will be something that interests you. Then the other thing, I've been putting different videos. Starting to put different videos about the different attributes on YouTube as well. So if you go to the YouTube channel, which is Be Good Men, and go ahead and subscribe, watch some of the videos. I'm also pulling some other interesting videos about the different attributes and pulling them in, and then I'm also putting these daily thoughts and the podcasts and stuff there if you wanted to listen to them there as well. But anyway, just go ahead and follow me on our page, begoodmen.net, or go ahead and follow any of the social medias. I'm on Twitter and I have a Facebook page, which I keep saying I'm going to open the group up. I haven't created. I just need to link it because it wants me to set up questions and stuff for people to answer, whatever that links them through from one to the other. Anyway, I'll get that done. But anyway, I appreciate you guys, and hopefully you enjoy these. Sorry, the traffic's backing up here. But hopefully you guys enjoy these daily thoughts, and I will continue making them. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. But I will talk to you later. Thank you.